So what are the big differences between the ProStripe? No, sweetheart, you can't be in the shot, hon. When that means go.
What?
That means go.
When?
When I point to you.
Did you already point to me?
I did. So what are the differences? I already pointed.
No, you didn't.
No, sweetheart.
You pointed to me.
No, but I was like,
I asked 3 times.
I know, but
I can't hear what you're saying.
okay, I know.
That didn't go well.
So what are the big differences? So what are the differences between the ProStripe and something like...
Yeah, that's right, Ross, actually go down.
Oh. So what are the big differences between the ProStripe I wanted it to like go behind me and then I was gonna run off and get it. Why are you laughing so much at me? You wanna try again? Can we try one more time?
Uh-huh.
Yeah? Are you sure?
Yeah, this is actually the funniest part of this video so far, I can guarantee you.
Okay, we're gonna try this bit one more time.
Hold on, I got it.
One more time.
I know how it works now.
Okay. What are the differences between the ProStripe and something like the Greensmaster 1600? First of all, okay, the Greensmaster is like owning a bull, a well-trained bull where you can take it out for a walk, but if you let it go, it's gonna fuck your shit up. So don't do that. So this is the Toro ProStripe, and I know that there are not a lot of reviews on the ProStripe, and I went on the lawn forum, which is amazing by the way, but I went on the lawn forum looking for reviews, looking for other people that had it, and there actually wasn't a lot of info out there. And I was looking for something that would stripe, because that's what we want. I was looking for a rotary mower that had a roller on the back. And this was the only one. There's a model in the UK called Hater. And from what I had seen of those, they were awesome. Like, they were just incredible machines. And so I found this one, the Toro. There is apparently 2 different versions of this. So if you're wondering, and I didn't know this, because there's one version that is like the residential version, and there's the other version that is the pro version. And I think that the main difference is the one that I was looking at, that was the quote residential version, had a valve here where you could plug a hose into it, run the hose, run the blade, and clean it out underneath, like you do have in a lot of rotary motors. But that's the one I thought I bought. And then when it was delivered and the guy showed up, it didn't have that, and I asked him about it, and he said this is the pro version. They do a residential version that has that in it, but this one doesn't. Whatever, what are you gonna do? How does it cut? That's the big question. Awesome is the answer. I think a lot of that has to do with the weight of it. It's a very heavy machine. It's, I think, like 120 pounds, or I could be wrong about that, but it's a heavy machine, and the built-in roller on the back is so much better than any rolling kit that you can get, because I've tried all the rolling kits, and they're nothing in comparison to the roller that you get on the back of this. I will say that the Toro ProStripe 560 is the best rotary mower that you're going to find if you want stripes. So as far as the height of cut goes, what you have is it's one lever on the side, which is awesome to kind of get that. H is 2.36 meters or 60 millimeters. G is 2.13 inches or 54 millimeters. F is 42 millimeters, 1.65 inches. E is 36 millimeters, 1.42 inches. D is 30 millimeters, 1.18 inches. C is 25 millimeters, which is 0.98 inches. Then we start getting low. B, 19 millimeters, 0.75 inches. And then you have A, which is 13 millimeters, which is 0.51 inches. So that is your half-inch cut on a rotary. Eric on the Lawn Forum writes, reading the specs, it looks as if it'll mow up to 2.36 inches, and it does. Have you tried it on your Northern Mix? If so, does it still look good at that height? So I think what you want me to do is you want me to crank it all the way up to the highest setting, do a couple stripes, and we'll see if we can answer Eric's question. So if the question is, does it still look good at 2.36 inch? If you compare them in this light to everything else that I've done, super low, these ones still look great. They still stripe perfectly. So if you're asking whether stripes show up at that height, the answer to that is 100% yes. Whether it's the quality of cut you want, right there, that it does take it off pretty cleanly off the top, like you can see that one right there, right? It's a pretty good cut. It's a really, really, really good cut. M True wrote, took delivery of mine yesterday. Congratulations on that. Any tips on mulching? When it comes to mulching, I don't mulch. I bag everything, and I don't like it on the lawn because we have the pool, and then we all drag clippings and mulch into the house. So I don't mulch. So I have no tips on mulching. Sorry, I bag everything. So, however, on the topic of mulching, if you are going to mulch, this machine, one thing maybe you need to know if you do want to mulch, the discharge for this, if you lift this up, this thing here, it's not closed. There's no seal. So when you are mowing, if you are mulching, it doesn't mulch from underneath the blade and leave it there. It actually all shoots out back here, which is fine, but man, it like covers your feet. Know that with mulching. PWNZ Pones writes, I'm highly interested in how the rear roller helps with high spots on the lawn / avoid scalping high spots or even dropping into flower beds. Sinclair writes, if this mower can hang over the edge of a flower bed without tipping, I'll buy one tomorrow. Yes, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna see me, I will kind of roll over. I have the edges around the trees done, so it's circles, but I will roll over, just straight over, and you will see that when that first wheel kind of goes in, it does not tip. There's enough weight on the back end to sort of keep it level, so you won't scalp the edges of your flower beds. Real Low Dad, I actually love your channel, man. Real Low Dad says, I would like to see lots of close-ups, detailed footage of the rear roller. I may or may not be working on something. So I don't know what that something is, but the rear roller is, it's split. It's in two pieces. So when you do sort of turn it, you come around. You can do super sharp turns. It doesn't dig up a lot. So what you wind up having is you have the two drums on the back, and when you do turn, they kind of go like this. They twist in opposite directions, and what it allows you to do is to not tear up, especially new turf, which is awesome. Matt Combs 777 writes, looking forward to your review. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm debating on either the ProStripe or the Swordman right now. I was also debating on the ProStripe or the Swordman, but my thing was this, is that I have that right there going all the way down there. It's not flat, like it's not a level lawn, it's a big hill. And probably from where I'm standing to down at the bottom is probably 10 feet. With the ProStripe, you can almost sort of drift with it, like a drift car, because it's not as heavy as a Greensmaster, but it gives you enough weight and there is enough power to kind of get up a hill like this. So here, let me show you. So these are my thoughts on the Toro ProStripe. If you need a rotary, if you're just like, if your lawn is like, if you're dealing with super hills or whatever, this is, and I've said this before, it's the best rotary I've ever used. It's heavy, the wheels on it are set in, so when it does stripe with the roller at the back, there's no wheel lines. So that is, for me, one of the greatest things about the ProStripe. It's heavy, it stripes perfectly. It's easy to start, there's no choke. You have the classic Toro turtle and rabbit, so you can control the speed of it. Mulching is sort of up in the air. I think you're supposed to bag with this because mulching, it shoots it out the back, it gets all over your feet. It's not my favorite part of the mower. The back end is heavy, so if you are going over flower beds, it won't tip in. You can ride it just on the side. I just lost a drink. You can ride it right on the side. As long as that wheel hangs over a little bit, the weight on the back will hold it in. You're not gonna go in and scalp your flower beds. The handle on it, I'm 6'4", and the handle on it is perfect. It is it adjustable? Maybe it's adjustable? I don't actually know. When I get things, because I'm 6'4", I just put it to the tallest that it will go, so I don't actually know how adjustable it is. You can figure that part out. So a few of the negative things. Small gas tank. On this big thing, the gas tank is it's just too small. Pro, it's super easy to start. Starts on one pull every time. There's no choke, there's no anything else. You just rip it and go. Adjusting the height is amazing. It's one lever, it's this right here. It's one, and just one hand, and then you're down and you're up. Cutting at 2.5 it's not the best. You will still get stripes. You'll still get them. If we're comparing this to like a Time Master or anything else with a striping kit on the back, this will beat its ass. Guaranteed. Negative point about that, I wish it were wider. The stripes are narrow. If you have a big yard like I do, it's okay. The stripes look a little dinky, so I'm not great at doing double wides. I kind of forget where I am sometimes, and then I wind up just doing one. I don't know. I'm not great at it. I lose myself in the sun, I start daydreaming, and I forget where I am. What are the big differences between this and the Toro Greensmaster 1600? If you are going to buy a rotary and you want some stripes, this is the rotary to buy. I can't stress that enough. But if we're going to compare this, the Toro ProStripe 560, to a real mower, there is no comparison. There's no comparison. Even as great of a rotary motor as this is, there is still no comparison. I will do this to sort of do trim passes, and it's great at taking down heavy grass. I went from 5 inches to 1 with this, and it chewed through it beautifully. But if you're debating whether this or real mower, you have to get a real mower. You have to. It's life-changing. I will spend 40 minutes to an hour with this, tooling around, doing everything, and I'm always, God, that looks so good. It looks amazing. I love it. I love this mower. It was so worth the money. Then I get out the Greensmaster and I go over everything that I just did with this, and there's no comparison. There is just no comparison. So if you're debating whether to get this or a reel, get a reel. Absolutely, get a reel. It's so different. It's so different. At the end of the day, this is still a rotary. It's an amazing rotary, but it's still a rotary. It's the best rotary I've ever used. But it's still a rotary. Sexy though. Right? Sexy. Looks like a Ferrari, man. It's awesome though. It's magic. Like for a rotary, it's the best rotary. It's magic. But it's not a Greensmaster. That just hurt my heart to say that because I spent a lot of money on it. I spent less on my Greensmaster than I did on this. So what does that say about me?